Michelle is a musician with albums released as Everyone Except Me and artist behind the post-apocalyptic webcomic Stray Cats. She's kind, a bit shy, and furiously creative. Henrique is a filmmaker with over 24 films and TV shows as producer, director, and occasionally host. He also released a couple of music albums. He's bombastic, larger than life, and tenacious almost to a fault. Together, they've been best friends for a decade. This show is awkward.
So, Michelle.
Yeah.
I hope you're happy.
No.
Because I'm drinking hot tea.
Oh, I guess I'm happy. I'm also drinking hot tea.
When are you not drinking hot tea?
I don't know. Sometimes I don't drink constantly. So, when I'm not drinking hot tea.
I don't have a problem with hot tea. Like, I enjoy hot tea fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've definitely... Today was the first frost in the Dayton area. Like, everything was glazed with frost this morning outside.
Yay.
It was like 28, 29 degrees.
Yeah,
So
fun.
I had to wake up and I was like, okay, this is the second day in a row I've had to have a couple cups of hot tea because it is cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not nearly as cold where you are, from what I understand.
It's like, like 7 degrees warmer or something like that.
That makes all the difference when it's freezing, though.
I mean, yeah, because it was like 34, so we didn't have frost. We almost had frost.
You had like a good amount of dew, but not frost, right?
I think so, but like because of the directionality of my driveway, my car doesn't get dew or anything on it. My neighbors' cars do because they're facing the other direction if they're on the street. So I think it was dew, but it could have been frost because I didn't go and touch them. So.
Well, next time you should go and touch them.
Yeah.
For science.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It's fine. Science. But yeah, so I'm having my hot tea. I am comfy in my office that I've totally wrecked after getting it so nice and clean. So I need to find time to clean my office again. It was getting so decent in here. And now it's a nightmare again.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. And then, of course, Halloween. Now, of course, the last episode we published was the day after Halloween. But, we're recording now, and Halloween has since passed.
Mm-hmm.
How was Halloween out by you?
It was pretty good, I guess. I had a lot of kids. And they're younger, which is great.
Yeah.
I think a lot of new people moved into the area, because everybody moved everywhere all the time.
Yep.
Last year.
Yeah.
So I think I have a lot of new, younger families now, which is great. And then also my mom was really, really worried because she just moved to a new place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the last place that she lived, she basically didn't get any trick-or-treaters at all.
Well, she lived in a black hole of nowhere.
Yeah. And also she lived on a
realms.
street that didn't have sidewalks or anything. And it was a major road where if you were in her house at any time of the day, the house was it was from all of the cars.
Now that she doesn't live there, we can just say it was a terrible place.
It was a terrible place.
Yeah.
So she didn't get trick-or-treaters, so she moved to just kind of a normal kind of neighborhood in Hamilton, New Jersey, so right outside of Trenton.
Do you want to you can give the address if you want. I mean,
okay, it's 4 but she was really worried because she was the only person on her street that put up any Halloween decorations. And she was she bought tons of candy. And she's I don't even know why I bought all this candy. No one's going to come. It's going to be horrible. I hate this neighborhood all of a sudden. And she had so many trick-or-treaters. She went through all of her candy. So she's
her
super
face
happy.
Was red. Yeah. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah.
For years, that's the way it was in this neighborhood to some extent. It was I would hand out candy, but it felt like it was just kind of I don't know, it was the thought that counts, But the last 5 years, it has just gotten more and more families and with little kids. And I would say the majority of our trick-or-treaters were between the ages of like 3 and 7,
Okay, wow.
like
Yeah.
very young. We had
Mhm.
only a few that were older, but we had some cool ones. There was one little boy that I came out. I had a very scary Halloween costume. I was very proud of it.
Mhm.
I was not actively trying to scare the kids all the time, but Rachel didn't have a scary Halloween costume. She was kind of a funny Halloween costume. So she would open the door with the candy, and then I would crawl behind her and stick my head up from behind her leg. But then I had my own bowl of candy.
Oh, wow.
But there was one kid who looked me right in the face in my like I went as a maniac hospital patient. I had like a bandage around my head with blood and stains all over it, and I was wearing a hospital gown covered in blood. And this one kid just looks me right in the face and goes, "You don't scare me. I watch scary movies every day." And I looked at him and I went, "Yeah?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I went and I put out my fist and I was like, "Bump it." And he fist bumped me. This little like 7 or 8-year-old kid.
Aw.
It was so cool. I gave him just a big fistful of candy. So but we only had, because I didn't do the jump out and scream,
Mhm.
but I accidentally made some kids afraid to come up to the house because I didn't realize, and this is very funny. So I go all out for Halloween, and you know who really appreciates when you go all out is the parents.
Mhm.
I definitely notice them like looking on with big smiles on their face when you're all dressed up and your house has decorations and we put a speaker in the front yard that like plays scary sounds. I go all out. And when the parents always look really excited, it makes me extra happy. I always wave to them and they always go, "Thank you so much." And some of them even like will walk up and be like, "Man, you really go all out. That's awesome."
Mhm.
Stuff like that. So I wanted to go all out, but I was tired from a long weekend of doing lots of things. I went to Horrorama, which is a staple. It was the 25th year of Horrorama in Dayton. I had to go, and I stayed till 4:30 in the morning, and then the next day was Halloween, so I'm like
Yeah.
sleeping till 11, and then I'm tired. So usually I set up like a boatload of lights in my doorway, like really bright, like green lights and blue lights. But this time I was like, man, I think I can get away with just like the lights on the back of my television are colored and the
Mhm.
television's right next to the door. I have a fog machine that's on a timer. It sprays a second of fog every 3 minutes. So there's always fog in the doorway. And I took a green light bulb and put it in the fixture next to my couch and shined it toward the door.
Mhm.
So there'll be a little green light too. What I didn't realize is we had the windows open so we could get a peek if people were coming. But I didn't realize that if I'm standing there looking on, I am just lit entirely green. And my costume is mostly light colors, so it catches light. So I caught a reflection of myself in the window and went, "Holy crap!" Like it was. I looked really scary, and I'm just standing there like. So I was like, okay, that would explain why some of the kids are afraid to come up before we even answer the door. So
Yeah.
that's good. So, but yeah, those kids, they don't know what to hit them, Also, there's a new family on the block, which I knew about,
Mhm.
but I don't know if them moving in has just caused, like they have a few kids and maybe that's caused like more kids to hang out with each other,
Maybe.
or if they just have 9 kids. But they have a lot of kids. My printer just made a noise for no apparent reason. I didn't know
Oh.
that my new printer did that. Hooray. I was hoping it didn't because my old printer did that. Remember that time the printer made you think someone broke into your house or you had a
Yes.
ghost?
Yes, I remember that all the time.
Yeah, but no, this neighbor, this neighbor, I swear, like I see 9 kids there all the time, and they were all trick or treating together. So I gave them all
Mhm.
candy. It was actually one of the nicest Halloweens I've ever had, in that I went outside after trick or treat was over, and I could like hear kids like screaming and playing and laughing in the distance, and I
Mhm.
was like, "This is the way it's supposed to be,"
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people struggle with this, but Halloween, as much as I love it and I go all out and I celebrate the hell out of it, it's for the kids. It really is for
Yeah.
children. Just like Christmas. I love Christmas possibly more than any other time of year ever, and I celebrate it like crazy, but it is overall a holiday for the kids. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm allowed to enjoy it too. It's just I would never try to take it away. Why is this thing making so many noises? Stop. Sorry, it just stopped and then started again. Made me angry. Stupid. Don't act like people listening to this, don't act like you don't get really mad at printers. I know you do.
Everybody gets really mad at printers.
It's just actually funny. I'm like, I spent all this money on this thing and it does the same bullcrap my old printer does. Great.
It's possible that it's sentient and that it wants to be on the show.
That's even, well, actually, that'd be awesome. If that printer's sentient, then that means I can beat it into submission. Like
Okay.
that it'll understand that it can die and therefore it'll do a better job.
Okay.
This is the natural progression of technology and man's interaction with it. I'm sorry to tell you, Michelle. But over time, it'll become more pleasant. It'll become more like, isn't life better for you when you don't fuck up all the time, printers? And the printers are like, yes, life is better when I don't fuck up all the time. It's like, good. So the threat of violence is just understated, but it's not out in the open. Everyone's happy. The end.
Yeah, I think that's how you get the printers to revolt.
Okay, now you just sound like a printer apologist.
Yeah. So what of it? Like,
just because the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California is working on a printer that has fists does not mean that they're going to be able to fight back.
Okay. I don't know.
I remember when I was a kid trying to, like, not a kid, but a young man, like 17, 18, 19, trying to edit videos on computers, which was very awful because computers were so friggin' ancient. I remember I used to say all the time, I'd be like, I wish machines felt pain so I could punch this computer so it would know it's doing everything wrong.
Wow.
Hey, you never had to deal with clicking render and it would say like, will render in 1 year and 15 days. And you'd be like, what? Why don't you just say you can't do it?
Because it can.
It just needs you to believe in it.
Yeah. Jeez.
So speaking of old computer stuff, I found a hard drive in my garage. And it had been in my garage for at least 8 years. And I plugged it into a little thingy, like it's an internal hard drive. I plugged it into a little thingy to play on my computer.
Yeah.
It works.
Wow.
It makes a terrible sound, but it works. And you want to know the craziest thing?
It always made that sound?
No, I hope not. But the last file that I added to it when I had it originally was in 2004.
Wow.
So I can't believe that it functioned at all. But
you should buy more stuff from whatever that brand is.
Unfortunately, it's Western Digital, so I already buy stuff from them because they're like the brand anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, no stock tips today on the show. But I was very surprised it worked, and it was really awkward seeing like my pictures folder from like 2004, 2003 or whatever it was. I mean, it was just like pictures, like, but it was just pictures of me and pictures of my friends, but it was from those, remember picture CDs? When you would drop the film off? Yeah, they were all from that. You could tell by the naming structure. Yeah. Kodak picture CDs.
I don't actually think I got those at all.
Then how did you get photos on the computer?
I didn't.
Wow. That must have been challenging.
Like, I think I just still had regular pictures, and then I had like phone pictures, and that was it.
Whoa. This is way before phone pictures were manageable.
I didn't have pictures. Like, I just had a camera, and you go to the store, and then they give you little like rectangles with pictures on them. And
you
they're
mean
like shiny
a thumb drive?
No.
What do you? Oh, you mean an actual printed out photo?
Yeah.
And then you what? You scanned it?
No, just look at them.
I mean, yes, that is how photography started out. Yes, you're not wrong. But just to be safe, I'm gonna gaslight you some more about it instead.
Okay.
But no. I just remember when I was a kid, I was always on the internet. I built my first web page when I was 13. So I always wanted to like build web pages and do things like that. So I had to have pictures of myself, and we didn't have access to a scanner because scanners were kind of expensive. So what I would do is I would put my money together and I would buy like a disposable camera, and I would take all the pictures I wanted of like myself and of like things that I thought I needed pictures of. And then I would pay the extra $4 or whatever for the Kodak picture CD, where they scan your photos while they're developing them.
That makes sense.
But I would still get the physical ones. So
We just would throw them away.
No, clearly not, because remember a couple weeks ago I found like 1 million photos and started scanning them.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I threw away very little. So I want to mention, you did not say anything about my new Hawaiian shirt.
It's really, really nice. And we talked about it already. So
well, we talked about it, but you'd never seen it in action.
That's true. Also, like, I wasn't like staring. Like, I wasn't staring at it the way I'm staring at it right now. So.
Well, now you'll never be able to stop looking at it.
No.
Because you'll be like, oh god. I'm wearing, for those who are not watching visually, I am wearing a Thanksgiving themed Hawaiian shirt covered in turkeys and earth tones. Well, really not earth I mean, they're just different shades of orange because there's no brown. So I'm sorry, Michelle, but there is no brown. It's just dark orange.
No.
Well, I'm trying to make peace with you. I said orange the way you say orange.
You say
orange.
Yeah, orange.
Oh, no, that's wrong. No, it's orange, and it's dark orange that makes brown.
No.
I'm sorry. I can't help you. Are you just mad because the walls behind you are dark orange?
No, they're brown.
I'm sorry. Orange is the color. It's not brown. Brown does not exist.
No, it has to. I know it does.
Are you mad because your hair is dark orange?
No. It's brown.
Oh, it's amazing how we can go like 70 episodes and then that comes back up.
Yeah.
You know? That's the next reminder. It's been over a year and now all of a sudden it's like, remember how brown doesn't exist?
You know, I just like whatever else I said, I remember all the time. I think about that all the time, about how brown isn't real, probably.
The thing you were thinking about all the time was your printer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think about it twice as much as you, apparently.
No. Yeah, I guess so. But I think about it every time I see my attic door because the cops open it.
Yes, Michelle once thought there was an intruder, so much so that she called the police, and it was a printer.
Yeah. It's not the first time I thought my printer was an intruder, but it is the first time I called the cops. And it was in a different house.
Yeah, that's true.
And that time I was actually printing something. This time I was not printing something.
No, it just made a random printer sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it printed stuff because I reset my computer.
Oh.
And then it was like, oh, I can actually print that thing now. So.
Well, I could buy in your new house. I could see being afraid because your new house is, in my opinion, very vast. Like, I don't worry about people breaking into my house because it's just small enough that I feel like I can kind of check it out in like one turn of the head. Feels like, well, it's not that small, but you know what I mean? Like, if I'm in my bedroom, I might worry someone's in my garage because it's the furthest point. But you have like 2 floors and it's a very spacious home. So I would feel much more threatened.
I don't think it's that spacious. It's just
you have a very spacious home. You have a very spacious home.
I mean,
you have the tallest ceilings ever.
They're normal height ceilings. They're like 8 feet ceilings.
I would kill to have ceilings that high. My ceilings are like 7 foot tops.
But it's nice when you have low ceilings because then you're like, I could probably touch that. And then you can.
I do that. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I look up at the ceiling and go, huh, and I just touch it.
Yeah, I can't do that. I could do that on my last house, though. That was fun. On the floor.
You still sometimes think about how much you miss it?
Touching the ceiling?
Yeah. That's okay. It's okay. Lots of us have losses we're dealing with. I know. So
mine is worse, though.
So Has anything developed with the home inspection company?
My boss, I guess, sent me a bunch of stuff today. So he didn't forget about me or hate me yet again. But and then I realized he sent me something from PayPal that was like, "Hey, you've been invited to join, like their PayPal account thing. Set up your profile." But it was 5 days ago, and I didn't realize. So I can't do it anymore. So I had to be like, can you like resend me that thing? And I hate doing that. But I heard like the PayPal, like the notification went off on my phone, and I was like, PayPal wants me to do something? And I just dismissed it and
Fuck
then didn't look
that.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, it wasn't like you've got money. It was like, hey, PayPal wants you to do something. I was like, nah, it's okay, PayPal.
Pass.
Yeah.
Hard pass on doing something for PayPal.
Yeah.
Well, that's good though. That's exciting. Does he have an estimate of when he thinks you'll actually be working?
No, I didn't ask, but he wants me to finish up. There's, I was taking a termite course, and he wants me to finish that and do the radon course so I can get certified. So probably after that,
Oh,
because
okay.
those are important. So
I guess. I never really thought much about radon.
I think about it all the time too. That's another thing.
He was my least favorite of the original Mortal Kombat characters.
Oh, I'm
Radon.
sorry. Yeah.
It's more into Johnny Codge. That's the gag. I'm just mispronouncing all of them. So I need to mention something. Do you see this red mark on my forehead?
No.
It's
maybe.
there. Yeah, it's not as bad now and everything, but like, so I wore my Halloween costume on Saturday, and that was the maiden voyage. I wrapped my head in gauze, which, by the way, is awful. Don't ever be so injured that your whole head needs to be wrapped in gauze, because it puts pressure on spots that you just don't expect.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that like my jaw really hurt, and my like temples were like aching. Like, it was really weird, but I don't recommend it. But when I took it all off, the blood I had put all over had just kind of seeped through in some spots and dried and stuff. Well, no, that's not what this is.
Oh.
No, because it gets worse. So I get home from Horrorama. It's now almost 5 a.m. So of course I'm like, I let the dogs out, and then I'm literally, which by the way was one of the cutest things I've ever seen. I get home that late. The dogs are sleeping in their crates. They wake up. They're like, oh man, I let them outside to pee. And then this has never happened. I turn to Chicano, and Chicano he can be a very excitable boy. Like, if he has to go to the bathroom and you say, you want to go outside, he'll like run to the back door. Like, he'll get really excited if he really needs to go. I turn to him and I just go, you want to go to bed? And he like runs straight to the bedroom and lays in his bed, like way ahead of me. Like, I brushed my teeth, opened the door, and he's already laying in his bed, like going to sleep. It was really cute. But he's got priorities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so I was so tired. I was like, there's no way I'm taking a shower to get all this stuff off. So I just took a baby wipe and just wiped my face down. I was like, this will get the worst of it so that it won't wipe off on my pillow and stuff. Like, this will do a fine job, because I'm not wearing full face makeup. It's just a little bit of dried fake blood and a little bit of black makeup. So I wiped my face down with a baby wipe, and this spot wouldn't come off. Like, I was scrubbing it and it wouldn't come off. And the next morning I was like, okay, I'm going to get this scrubbed off. So I started scrubbing it. And then I realized that there's a cut on my forehead, and I thought it was a fake blood stain, but I was actually just scrubbing open a cut. So that was fun. That was fun.
So you really did need the gauze on it.
Yes, I needed all 4 rolls of gauze.
Oh.
But the weirdest thing ever, and I think you would appreciate how weird this would feel, was I was completely incognito at Horrorama.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one looked at me and went, oh, hey, Henrique. I'm not used to people not being able to look, because I had all of the major Henriquisms were gone. I was wearing contact lenses. My hair was hidden. My mustache and beard were hidden. I mean, the only thing that gave me away is I was wearing orange or yellow Crocs. But that's kind of it.
Huh.
So it was weird walking up to people and them not knowing who I was until I talked.
Yeah.
I just not used to that at all.
Yeah. Usually when I walk up to people, they still don't know who I am when I talk to them.
Even people you know?
Maybe. I don't.
They just nod. Uh-huh.
They're just like, yeah, huh?
Right. You, of course.
I
It's
did.
you.
Like yesterday, I asked one of my shopper employee people to do something, to like do a better job at something, but I was just like, hey, can you just make sure you're doing this? And she just like stared at me. and then like she did it, and then she walked away, and my other like co-boss was like, did she say anything to you? And I was like, no, she just
What the heck?
people do that to me. I'll be like, hey, can you just, and they'll either do it or not do it and then just walk away. So,
They don't just go, and then they turn face the other way, but just don't leave. They just turn away from you.
yeah, they do that too. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh.
I'm sorry that your subordinates are so insubordinate. See what
It's
I
a
did
new
there?
person, so yes.
A new person, like they were just born?
Yeah. Yes. So actually, I shouldn't be so confused because they can't talk yet.
They just stand there covered in placenta, and they're not even standing, they're laying there.
And I'm just like, can you make sure you message the customer?
And it just goes. I that is one of the funniest mental images I think I've ever had. Just a baby laying there. Newborn baby. Oh gosh. Well, I'm excited for you to become a home inspector officially. I mean
Thanks.
to do your first gig. So
Me too. Hopefully it'll happen.
I'm sure it will. You just gotta put it in, put the effort in. You're gonna be all right.
Okay.
Would you rather I doubt you? I'm like, yeah, you probably won't be able to.
No, that's okay. You don't have to doubt me.
You're like, that's okay. You don't have to put the effort in to do what I want you to do, which is to believe I'll fail. That's Michelle in a nutshell for you. Please tell me I'll fail. Please agree with me. Someone agree with me. So, did you watch anything on Halloween?
No. No, I worked.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
I handed out candy, and then I tried to watch an anime that is kind of scary, kind of, about some girl who like she can see like spirits, but she doesn't want any, she's pretending that she can't see them so that they don't interact with her.
Okay.
So she's just always like terrified and like stoic as they like try to talk to her. It's kind of a comedy, but I fell asleep while I was watching it because I was really tired. So
you did watch earlier in the week Trick or Treat finally for the first time.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I sent you a copy after we talked about it briefly. I can't
Yeah.
remember if that was on the show or not. I think we talked about it on the show.
I don't know.
But
Maybe?
you really liked that one.
I did. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm kind of Michelle's single-handed horror educator.
Pretty much.
I forced you to watch all the Freddy Krueger movies in like 3 days.
Mhm. Yeah.
That was perfect because you were injured, so there was nothing you could do.
Yeah.
What were you gonna fend me off with your recovering shoulder? Haha! You have to watch Freddy Krueger movies. That was also the first time you showed me anime. I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. That was when you showed.
No.
I feel like you showed me ReZero.
No, because I know that I didn't. I showed it to you after that because you said I was with you for like, however many days, and you didn't watch any anime, and I was like, I was trying to be nice. And then...
I was trying to be nice and not make you have to do that terrible thing I do.
Mm-hmm.
No, I remember that. Yeah, being very surprised. You never once said let's watch anime. I mean, how often do you watch anime when you're by yourself?
I mean, not that often.
Like multiple times a day?
Unless I fall asleep or something.
It still counts if you fall asleep because you had the plan to sit and watch anime.
Okay, then yeah, at least once a day.
That's a lot of anime.
Not really. I mean, I just like for a half hour. That's not that much. Except the anime that it was like kind of on in the background or something. But
I
I'm not
wasn't going to
watching.
see, you threw yourself under the bus on that one.
And I don't always watch anime. Sometimes I watch Star Trek instead. So
Okay, that's cool. At least that's a cool thing you do. You know, I was worried that all you did was nerd stuff if you were watching anime, but at least you put on Next Gen, right?
Mhm.
Do you watch the
Yeah.
Pluto channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, they recently switched all the episodes. Thank God. It's been like the same episodes for like months.
Were they just showing like one season over and over again?
No, they're showing like one episode per season. Like it just goes, it's just like flips back. Like it's
It goes where no man has gone before.
yeah, except there's every once in a while there's like one that like is a multi-part one, so that'll all go together.
Oh, okay.
And
At least
I
there's
realized,
a forethought of that. Like instead of just showing
yeah.
you like to be continued and then it just doesn't ever.
Yeah. I realized that at least in those episodes, Picard gets tortured a lot. Like he a lot. I was like, huh, okay.
Well, it makes sense. You know, Picard was the best actor on this. I mean, like just for seasoning alone, nothing against the other people on the show. But I mean, like he had the age on everybody and the experience on everybody on that show. So if you're going to torment anyone, you should torment the best actor you have. I mean, they'll elicit the most sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I mean, watch how Kirk was written. There's a lot of repetitiveness with him too. That's pretty stupid. But I say that as somebody who adores Star Trek with all of his heart, especially Next Generation. But yeah, Picard gets tortured a lot. Did you get to watch There Are Four Lights? Was that one of them?
I don't know. Yes. Yeah, I keep seeing that episode over and over again. And I'm just like, huh.
No, you haven't. You've only seen it once. So I'm forcing my will on you until you break. Like in the episode.
Yeah, okay, I'm just going to agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think you would fare too well against the Cardassians.
I just feel like, oh, okay, whatever you guys want. I'll tell you all the stuff. But I don't even know the stuff. So...
Well, that's how torture works. You just give them the answer they want so they stop.
Exactly.
Thanks for listening. You can email us at thisshowIsAwkward@gmail.com or go to awkwardshow.com or whatever. See you next time.